Hello Pioneers, we are back for another Friday night football game. I'm Ben Keller.
And I'm Ethan Hunter. Tonight, the Pioneers have yet another tough test. The Upper Arlington Golden Bears are coming to town for senior night.
That's right, the boys will have a chip on their shoulder this weekend coming off last Friday.
Before we dive into the game, let's look at this week's fall sports recap.
Last Thursday, girls soccer took on New Albany for their senior night. After a good fight, unfortunately, New Albany took the win 2-0.
However, on Tuesday, the girls demolished Hilliard-Davidson with goals by Kaylin Vallow, Maya Kaufman, and two goals by Morgan Scott, securing an impressive victory 4-0.
The boys kept the hot streak going and tallied 3 more wins this week. The undefeated team won 2-1 with goals from Jack Barry and Baraka Jameh against Gahanna Lincoln.
Also, the boys fought hard in a high-scoring 5-4 victory over Worthington Kilbourne. That's a lot of goals.
Lastly, on senior night, Jerry Ashmaid took control and notched 3 assists and 2 goals in a 5-1 win over Hilliard-Davidson. Girls volleyball started this past week off on Saturday against Mount Notre Dame High School. This non-conference opponent is ranked 1st in the state and 16th in the country. The girls took 1 set from them, ending in a tough loss in 4 sets. They went on to play Dublin Kaufman Tuesday for a win in 3 sets, the first time in program history they beat Dublin Kaufman away. They are playing Upper Arlington on Thursday and a rematch against non-conference opponent Pada Franson. Good luck to those girls.
Last Wednesday, girls tennis crushed Berlin 4-1 in singles. Karotkin and Dickens shined, defeating both their opponents in 2 sets. Sproul also dominated, winning in 3 sets. Doubles team Kapasi and Tumalapi fought hard, but unfortunately lost their match. Finally, Logan and Reed secured an impressive victory against Berlin in 2 sets. Overall, girls tennis played great, and we can't wait to see what they can do next.
Field hockey played Thomas Worthington and had a tough loss 3-0. This Wednesday, September 23rd, the girls played Dublin Scioto. Good luck to our girls.
The boys and girls cross-country teams went out to Watkins Memorial High School for the Wood and Mud Invitational. The girls varsity placed 3rd with sophomore Kayla Zukarski leading the team with a 20:35 PR, and Maida Patria coming up right with her 0.6 of a second behind. The
varsity boys came in 2nd, only 2 points behind 1st place. Senior Jake Etheridge finished with a monster 16:21 to take 2nd place in the meet. He had Brian King on his tail, 30 seconds behind him, finishing with a 16:54.
Great work to everybody. Boys golf placed 4th out of 16 teams and shot 310 as a team. Luke Johnson had a 73, Corbin Bentley shot a 78, Jonathan Green shot an 80, Nathan Brown had a 79, and Mitch Perdue shot an 86. Girls golf won over their tri-match over Thomas Worthington and Dublin Scioto at Worthington Hills. Lauren Muffley and Natalie Ah tied it for 1st place medals.
On this last football Friday night, the boys traveled over to Dublin to take on the undefeated Kaufman Rocks. Unfortunately, the Rocks remained undefeated through the weekend as they came away with the win 28-7.
That's right. Although the outcome was not ideal for the Pioneers, the diamond in the rough was the monster 50-yard touchdown pass from Josh Lazier that we'll go over and see in a second to Kaden Konzak in the 2nd quarter. Kaufman's Byron Threats found the end zone twice on the ground, and quarterback Mason Maggs passed one in as well. Josh Lazier had success in the air with 9 for 15 passing and 86 yards and a touchdown. Konzak led the receiving numbers with 61 yards on 3 receptions. Let's hop over to the TV to go over some highlights of this game.
All right, Orange battling Kaufman, undefeated team. Kaufman taking down Liberty. They're a tough team, but Orange played well. Coming into the offense here, we start off with Josh Lazier passing it to Julian DeSabato. Right here, you'll see a fake handoff by Lazier. You got the defense. You got these 2 linebackers kind of staying in. They're not going to go back in coverage, which leaves a one-on-one for DeSabato to make the catch.
And you can see the guard pulling over here to the left side, which just helps out with the protection. And you can see that's a sure show of the run, which gets the pass over to the right side, just completely thrown off the defense.
Now you got a run play with Isaac Campbell. He's going to have to bounce this one outside. You can see right here, you got the tackle and the tight end pushing in to kind of give him that lane. You got wide open field right here. Isaac's going to take it, get a good 7 yards, and a first down.
That's right. The Pioneers didn't have the rushing yards that they would hope with 0.6 yards per rush, but there were definitely some shining plays in here that showed Schroeder's game plan working out just fine.
Now you got Kaden Konzak, the leading receiver. You got him in the slot. This guy, Kaden Konzak, is amazing on his route running and his deep threat. He is an all-around wide receiver threat. Right here, you'll see a perfect pass out of the shotgun right to him in the slot, and he'll just take off for some yards.
That's right. Even if he's open there in the flat, you can throw it to him at any point. Farther down the field, you can see there are 2 corners around him. He's going to catch it. He doesn't get scared when you see those guys coming in at you.
Now we'll talk about Josh Leisure in the run game. He's been a threat all year, being able to tuck in and run, get some yards on the scramble. Here you'll get 10 yards and a first down. You got one-on-one coverage outside. You got the linebacker going out. Leisure finds his hole, and he's able to scamper up for a nice gain. Big hit there at the end, but he could take it.
That's right. He moves well in the pocket, and you can see him getting up through the guards and the tackles to get that first down. You know, sometimes if you can't throw it, just go ahead and run it right in.
Right here, you got Kaden Konzak up at the top of your screen. You can see that they're kind of got all their linebackers up here in the box. They got a safety moving across the middle. That's going to tell you that pylon's going to be wide open. They're going to run kind of a cover 3 set with the safety roaming in the middle. Konzak's going to slip by his defender and be able to get wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. You'll see right here, let's be on that defender number 20. Gets right by.
That's right, and that's another thing. Josh Leisure is great with his eyes. You could see him looking to that outside wide receiver. The corner cut, thought that he was going to throw it, pass it over to him, and Kaden was able to slip right by into the end zone. And it doesn't get much better than a 50-yard pass.
That's true. Moving on to the defense. Defense played really well against a hot, fiery Dublin Kaufman offense that can really hit you all around. Right here, you'll see the run. Tannor Lester, big man up in the middle. He's taking on 2 blockers. Doesn't bother him. He can get through, and he can take that one down.
Not at all. You got to look at Tannor. I mean, you always have to see him in there, and you can see the guard's head turned slightly to check his running back. You can't do that when you got a big man like that coming rushing in your quarterback.
Now, one thing the Pioneers have is they got these 3 guys back. They got, well, 4 guys back here. There's linebackers that are always ready. You got 3 guys on the line. You might be thinking, how are you going to be a great run defense with 3 guys on the line? That's because you got these 4 linebackers that are just able to, they can go out in the passing game if need be, or they can, like they do here, you got Ampadu, Yanka, and Luke Houston just rip in on the screen pass. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, when you got guys like that, I mean, 3 people on a tackle for loss, you can tell they got the whole defense coming in. The offensive line just had nothing against those guys.
And we already started this play just a little bit, but you can see here Tannor Lester is already in the backfield. Play just snaps. He's got maybe not even a second, and Tannor Lester is already, what, like 3 yards in the backfield? You're not going anywhere. He rips that running back down. Huge play on the defensive line for Lester. He's a monster.
And this is the big pick here by Jordan Rudolph. You can see him out here on the safety that you will see in just a moment. Once the pass is thrown, it just goes right to him. And you know, when you throw a duck like that, it's going to get picked.
Good zone defense there. He's got his head up. He's got his eyes on the quarterback the entire time, and he is able to reach up and grab that one.
I mean, even when it's not targeted at you, and the ball can be coming at you at any point, he was ready. He snagged that in for a Pioneer interception.
Back to Tannor Lester. We're seeing this guy's name a lot. There he is sitting on the defensive line. He'll get another tackle here as they try to run outside. Has to cut back because there's not. Isaac Campbell's already there in the flats. He's making sure you cannot get outside of me, which is what he's trying to do. He has to cut back in. Lester's there for the wrap-up.
That's right. Campbell led the game for the Pioneers in tackles, and Tannor Lester led the game in tackles for loss, which you could see was very evident by those highlights. I mean, a great game for Campbell, too, with his pick.
Yeah. Coming back over, let's get into the Golden Bears team. This is a team that is kind of like the Pioneers, very similar. The Golden Bears are coming into this game matched with the Pioneers, both 1-2.
That's right. Upper Arlington quarterback Simon Monin had surgery back on September 10th to repair a broken collarbone suffered in a 7-6 league win over Hilliard Bradley on September 4th. James Hayek stepped in on this last game and completed 11 of 18 passes for 139 yards with 1 touchdown. When a backup comes in like that, you know, you're in good shape.
That's right, and that's good depth on the Upper Arlington team. But in the backfield, Upper Arlington has got a monster, Carson Graysock, who ran for 122 yards. That's triple-digit running yards and a touchdown on only 18 carries. He's averaging over 5 a carry, and that's really good.
Yeah, the QB was also able to tuck and run on multiple occasions with 39 yards on 10 carries. So you can see wide receiver Sam Cannon also led the team in receiving. He had 8 receptions for 101 yards and 1 score.
This plays right into the Pioneer style of defense we were talking about over there at the TV. Tanner Lester, Tyler Yonka, Dylan Dempsey, and those 4 linebackers back there. They are box-heavy playmakers everywhere. And the Golden Bears want to run first. They want to be a power run team. They got their Carson Graysock back there who got 122 yards. They want to feed him the ball. He's going to have to go through a lot of guys tonight and a lot of fast, powerful linebackers from the Pioneers. It's going to be a battle in the trenches.
That's right. I'd expect the Pioneer defense to be flying around, making plays left and right, like the 1-2 Mayweather from the iron strong run defense. You know, the Pioneers have faced a lot of running heavy teams, as well as they are a running heavy team. And, you know, in practice especially, you get that practice in. They faced, I would say that Kaufman aired it out a little bit more than they were used to, although 3 touchdowns did come in on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a balanced offense like that, like these guys have, I mean, 3 players with triple-digit passing, running, and wide end receiving, obviously, that's a hard, you know, it's a hard defense, a hard job for the defense.
Yeah, these guys are stat sheet stuffers. They are going to be all over. They're a high-scoring team. The only time they really have not scored that much was that 7-6 game they talked about when the quarterback went down and a backup had to come in. They got a couple losses to they lost to Pickerington and Liberty. Mm-hmm. Two very good teams. Liberty Orange has faced many times. They really know that team well. And Upper Arlington will be another tough test. Bunch of games for the Pioneers that they have had to fight. You got Olentangy, you got Kaufman, now you got Upper Arlington. I have faith in the Pioneers that these teams are going to have a tough matchup, very even, and we'll be excited to see what happens.
I agree. You know, Coach Schroeder said that this team is definitely a run-first team and they get the passing game going when they can. Well, they definitely could against Liberty, as you saw with 186 passing yards for their QB, number 2, and he's coming and throwing yards like that. I mean, with your quarterback down with surgery, big man stepping up. But I don't think it will be enough because the Pioneers are going to come in strong. You got corners, Joey Guigenti. I'm expecting a big game from him tonight.
Senior night.
Senior night as well in the Pioneer Stadium. You know we don't lose on senior night.
All right, that's all we have for football. We can't wait for this Football Friday night. We'll be seeing you on the field.
That's right. We'll throw it right back over to Tanner and Regan.
Howdy Pioneers, I'm Tannor Lambert.
And I'm Regan Yamasaki. Let's get started with some game breakdown for tonight.
Sounds good to me, Yama. The Pioneers are home against the 1-2 Upper Arlington Golden Bears, led by running back Carson Graysock, who had 3 rushing touchdowns so far this season and 1 receiving. The Bears fell to Liberty last week 20-14 after a late Powell touchdown that put the Patriots ahead, and they ended up winning the game off of it.
The Bears, like the Pioneers, rely heavy on the running game. The Pioneers will look to keep the possession of the ball tonight to give the defense some rest. Think of the Davidson game where the ball is going to stay on the ground for most of tonight.
That's right, Yama. With it being senior night, the Pioneers will be looking to put on a show. Don't discount Josh Lazer's arm. He threw a nice 50-yard touchdown pass to Kaden Konzak last week. We could see a little bit more of that tonight.
The Pioneers really struggled moving the ball last week, and the loss of Applegate hurt the run game tremendously.
The stat sheet isn't everything, though, Yama. The Pioneers did not rush the ball very well last week, but they did to get some key first downs. Look for some of that tonight on 3rd and short. Time of possession is everything, and this game is going to come down to whoever has the less possession based off of what I've read so far.
That is true, Tanner. Looking for some screen passes and swing plays on the Pioneer offense tonight, a good way to create space and let the Pioneers have a chance to progress the ball down the field.
On the defensive side of the ball, the loss of Colin McNay is going to be huge for the Pioneers. The senior was having a great final season, and he was looking really strong. The Pioneers will have to rely heavily on juniors, Junior Sarpong, Isaac Campbell, Brandon Fedio, Luke Houston to expand their roles and play even better for these Pioneers in their junior season.
Look for the defensive line, hopefully to stop the run up front and pressure on the quarterback. We could possibly see the Pioneer defense run a little bit more of a different scheme. We will have to wait and see what they have in store for tonight.
Sounds good to me, Regan. Hopefully the boys can get it done here at Pioneer Field.
Well, we will find out. You can tune into the Juices live stream on the game to hear the voices of your Olentangy Orange Pioneers, Tanner Lambert, and on call with Ben Keller and Carson Graham.
Sounds like a plan to me, Yama. Now let's talk Athlete of the Week.
The options this week were pretty great, Tanner. Baraka Jame, who had a goal in the 2-1 boys soccer win. It was his first game back from the injury, and he had a huge goal to give the Pioneers that win.
Yeah, he did. The boys JV cross country team, who swept the top 8, finishing 1 through 8 in their meet last week. And Tasman Apaya, who had 14 kills in a Pioneer volleyball win, as well as Kayla Saharsky, the top Pioneer girl runner last week.
Yeah, and Baraka Jame walked away with the title this week. Congrats to him. He also had a great senior night like the rest of the boys on the senior night earlier this week. The boys have been flowing right now, and it has hopefully been so fun to watch.
Hopefully that'll continue. Now let's look at next week's events. Girls volleyball. On Tuesday, they will travel to Hilliard to play Hilliard-Bradley at 7 p.m. in the division game. On Thursday, it's a big rivalry game against Powell here at Orange at 7 in another OCC matchup.
Boys golf. On the 21st, they have a tournament at Little Turtle.
And girls golf will also play on the 21st. They'll travel to the tough Worthington Hills Golf Course for a try match against Thomas Worthington in Lancaster. They will then host Berlin later that week on the 24th. Boys soccer, on Tuesday the 22nd, they face a tough OCC opponent, Dublin Kaufman, at Kaufman. And then on Thursday, they're back home to face Watterson. They'll finish off the week on Saturday at home against Perrysburg.
Cross country is off this week.
Yeah, they are. But field hockey isn't. On the 21st, the field hockey team goes to New Albany to play the Eagles. Then they will play Scioto at home on the 23rd at 7 p.m.
Tennis on the 19th. The girls are home for an OCC quad match. On the 21st, they play Wellington at Pick North on the 22nd.
Football. Next Friday, our boys are away at Hilliard-Bradley, but we will have another episode of Your Slice of Orange Sports by then.
Well, Pioneers, that is your slice of Orange Sports this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed our second show. It is only the beginning.
Yeah. For Regan, Ben, Ethan, and myself, I say go Pioneers and have a great weekend.